This is the tail vise, my woodworking bench, and this piece of wood here rides on this piece of metal here. There's a nut gets captured in there, and a big screw that goes through there to move the vise. And this thing has on it steel piece that rides on this rail here, and another one that goes on the bottom. You have to take this one off to get it off of there. So this thing goes on there and slides in and out with the bottom one to capture it in, and turn the screw, goes forward and backwards. Now, I'm going to show you real quick that if you turn this screw far enough, this vise stops because there's wood here that gets caught on where the nut is. And to get it off of there, you have to remove the screw from the wood and remove that bottom rail from there, and then you can lift this piece off like that. So that little piece of information is important because this broke, and I say it broke specifically to distance myself from responsibility for having broken it, because otherwise I'd have to tell you that I wasn't paying attention and I did a dumb thing and I broke it, which is actually what happened. That light is really harsh. That's better. Okay. So what happened was that we were moving this bench, and we had to get it around a corner in a hallway. And since this thing sticks out, you can see that when it's fully closed, it sticks out past the end of the bench. And removing this extra bit made it fit around the corner. So we had to take the vise off. And so we were doing that, turn the screw, 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 and then it stops. And, you know, if you're not paying attention, oh, it's a little stuck. Usually don't turn it out that far. Just keep, put a little more force to it. And 1/2 of an extra turn. And let me get this off of here. And the way this is attached is you have two screws like this. Okay, these screws, they go through the flange and then they're threaded into the wood. And so if you turn this to the point where the wood stops moving because it hit against this, what you're doing basically is you're putting this 1-inch Acme lead screw up against 2 of these little screws that are threaded into wood. And by the way, the Acme screw is threaded into this big steel nut, and you have a nice, 12-inch or so lever there. This screw barely shrugs against 2 of these threaded into wood, in case you might not have guessed that on your own. So that's what happened. And there's no reason to place blame. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. All that matters is we get it fixed. So my first thought on this was to drill this out, put in a maple plug, and then drill and tap a new hole. I was a little worried that a size of plug I'd have to put would get kind of close to the edge of here, and I might end up having a problem with that. So another choice would be to drill these holes the next size up. But let me get this handle off of here so that I don't have to keep moving it out of the way. Okay, so this flange here has a countersink that fits this screw perfectly. And if I went up a bigger screw size, then my countersink would be too small, or I'd have to drill it out more or whatever. So I don't really want to do that. Another choice would be to turn that like this, drill and tap new holes into the wood. That would work, but then these 2 holes would be judging me. No, I didn't mention, you can see here where the wood pulled out with the screw. See, there's even threads in there, you can see it. So, that hole's pretty much gone as far as threading the screw goes. Another choice would be to cut out a rectangle, like just go all the way across there, put in a plug, recut this hole, and then drill and tap into there. That might work. You know, a quick fix would be to just use a threaded insert like this. So I determined that the screw, this is a 1/4 screw. That's a 1/4 inch diameter and 20 threads per inch. And I determined that scientifically, by which I mean I looked at it and said, hey, that looks like a 1/4 screw. That's the hypothesis. And then I went and got a nut, which is over here somewhere, that I knew was a 1/4, and it threaded on there. So that's the, you know, the experimental verification of the hypothesis. That's science. So these are EZ-Lok 1/4 internal thread. And I chose these specifically because they said they were made for use in hardwood, and this is very hardwood. Yeah, some of the other ones didn't say that or were not meant for hardwood. They are brass, and the screws are steel, so it's possible that I might get some electricity situation with the dissimilar metals and the maybe potential electrolyte capacity of the wood or whatever. I don't know, we'll see. And another thing, another consideration here is that since when the vise is moving outward, open, the weight of the wood and the friction on this is being pulled by these two screws, right? They're pulling against that vise. And so I want to make sure that whatever I do here is at least as strong as this screw threaded into the maple. My intuition says that this combination of this screw and this brass insert into the wood is probably at least as strong as the screw threaded directly into the wood. I don't have any way to test that experimentally. It'd be fun to do. Maybe if I come up with a way to test it, I'll do it. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna try this. It says I need a 25/64 drill. I don't know if I have a 25/64 drill, but I'm gonna find out. I was not able to find a 25/64. I was able to find a 24/64 spade bit, otherwise known as 3/8. And so I'm not sure if that's gonna work. I got this piece of oak, which is also hard, like the maple. And I'll try the 24/64 and see if I can get that insert threaded into it without any trouble. Okay, 24/64. Now there's a special driver tool you get to put these in, but that driver tool is basically this. I have a screw and some nuts, and so put that on there, and now I can just drive this screw, and that'll do the trick. All right, so 24/64 seems to have worked okay. Screw threads in there, nice. All right, so let's try it on the maple. I'll just do one and try threading in the insert before I commit to the second one. Okay, nice. Turned out better than I even expected. Let's go for the other one. All right, 2 inserts in. Now let's test the tighten them all the way in here just to be sure. I think that is going to work out just fine. Okay, now I got to take it back out. Okay, now to get this thing back together, I have to put this on there, and then I have to reach underneath and put this nut in, and then get the screw through there, and then attach this bottom piece. See if I can get the camera at a better angle for that. Maybe like that. That goes on there. I don't have enough space between the wall here, so let me get the screw pre-installed into there. have to get the nut in and get that screw threaded onto it. It's a bit troublesome because of that problem there. So there we go, problem solved. Okay, so that's on there. You can see the screw is in there. Okay, I got the nut and the screw in there. Now I can put these screws in back into the threaded insert. Get it lined up just right. Another benefit though of doing it this way with the threaded inserts rather than threading into new wood is that I'm going to have to take this thing apart a few more times. So it's nice that I have these threaded inserts in here now instead of the threading into wood, which you know will wear not quite as good compared to the metal threaded insert. Okay, beautiful. Now I need to go underneath and put this guy on to finish getting this thing together. Okay, got all the parts back on, and works great. Thanks for watching.